So we're here in Washington State at the Armed Forces Wrestling Championships. Have two of our Army coaches, Spenser Mango and Shon Lewis, before the competition tomorrow. You guys have an 18-year winning streak at this tournament, and I'm curious. I'll start with Coach Lewis. I mean, how important is this for not only the Army program but to the athletes to come here and have a great performance?
Well, like I always say that, the service members, at the end of the day, one team, one fight. But, they come and put their best foot forward, and we have had an 18-year run, but that doesn't mean anything, Every year it's a new challenge, and we look at this year, 2020, the same way. It's going to be a tough tournament, and I'm excited to see what happens.
As Spencer, you've wrestled in this tournament a lot before you ended up being part of the coaching staff. Shon, you wrestled in it as well. But, I mean, how important was it for you to start your season off with a good Armed Forces Championship performance?
Oh, you always wanted to win. The Army has a great tradition as far as wrestling goes. And, you always wanted to carry on that legacy and come out here and show the country what the Army can do.
Now, Shon, the Marines have had a pretty solid lineup last few years. Their kids have developed a little bit. Coach, who was an Army guy, is helping them get better. Talk about the challenge of that duel, because it's usually the one that determines which team wins.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally, for Greco at least, there's been a very, consistent amount of ability and quality wrestlers when it comes to Greco. So the tournament's always been tough. The Marines are getting better every year, which they should. I mean, each team should get better every year. And they have a good coach, Jason Lakitas, who wrestled for me in the Army. Now he's the head coach for the Marine Corps. They got a great core of young guys, and the Marines are going to come and they're going to put their best foot forward. But we'll see what happens. We can do a lot of chit chatter, but somebody's got to come on the mat and get it done. And we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Now, Spencer, with this an Olympic year, and there's some qualification spots up, are there a few Army guys that might be going in the Greco that still need to get qualified and are looking to take the gold medal here on that end?
Yes, we have a few guys that still need to get qualified, and I'm expecting them to get it done here.
But obviously, the key for the Olympic trials is getting in first, right? I mean, you guys usually have a large group, but this event is a tune-up for that as well, right?
Right. This is always kind of a stepping stone to get to the Olympic trials. You have to come here and perform well. Guys that need to qualify have to get that done first, and then, when we go into Olympic trials, we should be rolling.
So, Shon, let's talk a little bit about some of the guys that have been looking good in your program, or people maybe some guys haven't heard of. I looked at your roster, and yeah, you've got all your hammers that you normally bring with you, but there might be a few people that you might want us to watch out for. Who should we keep an eye on that's going to see some action this week?
Well, of course, you get 60 kilos. I think we're ranked 1 through 4 in the nation. So you pick one out of that weight class. We got a lot of little ninjas in that weight class. And then you have Alejandro Sancho, who has a lot of tools, and it's going to be definitely a force to be reckoned with at the trials, and hopefully this weekend on tomorrow. Coach,
honestly, I think our lineup, we have a tough lineup this year, and I'm expecting these guys to do great things.
Now, Coach, we've got 3 women's matches, I'm told. It looks like the Navy's bringing girls, and you guys always have a strong group of women. I mean, for them, how important it is for them to be here and to show the world about your women's program, because the Army has a great group of women.
Yeah, we do. I'm excited about that, but I'm also excited about the women being involved in Armed Forces Championships, being able to showcase their talents. And we want to grow the sport, right? And I know the women's sports has grown leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, but we want to keep that going, and we want to make that tradition, for women in the Armed Forces just as valuable as the Greco and the freestyle is for the men.
It's kind of cool for Whitney Condor. She grew up around here, right?
Yeah, she's a hometown favorite.
She's already telling me about kids in their high school meet that she knows, right? It's right down the street.
Right.
So everything been going well with the program? Anything about the WCAP? I mean, obviously they've been putting Olympians out in a number of sports.
Yeah, no. WCAP is trucking along. The Army goes rolling along, so we're going to keep turning it over. But every program has their challenges, and some hurdles to get over, and we're no different. But we have a great leadership in Mr. Wilson, and in the All Army side, Claudia and Daryl Emanuel. So we're getting support, at the All Army level, and definitely WCAP. Our boss, Mr. Wilson again, who's over the program and makes the big decisions and makes sure we have money in the program. He's always been supportive, and you're right. It's not just wrestling, but we have several sports where we put an Olympics on.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to it, guys. It's going to be a fun weekend as usual, and yeah, I can't wait to see how good these guys are. It's an important event in the schedule for us in USA Wrestling.
Yeah, should
Thank
be
you.
exciting.